is just the beginning of this class. What is the value of currency? And the value of the currency can be measured by the other currency. All the currency can be measured by the other currency, like yen by US dollar or euro. However, one exchange rate is the absolute level of the exchange rate. That is effective exchange rate. Effective exchange rate. Effective exchange rate is not measured by the only one currency, but the several currencies, major currencies, several currencies. And then we learned international finance, especially the money moves beyond the border. And there are two kind of the statistics, financial statistics that describe the, how international monetary activity going. The one is BOP, or balance of payment. And the balance of payment is like a flow within one period. So how much transactions were made in one period? But the net foreign asset is stock. So that is the accumulation of BOP. And this is the breakdown of BOP, balance of payment. Most important account is current account. And the current account includes the trade balance, trade. Like President Trump criticized other countries because of the trade deficit of US. And the next important one is capital and financial account. Capital account and financial account. And one crucial message is BOP is supposed to be zero. So total credit is equal to total debit. And just focusing upon the current account. Current account's major part is trade account. That is the export and the import of goods. And the service account is payment or receipt of the services like a consultation and intelligence properties. And the third one is primary income. The primary source of the primary income is dividends and the coupon. And this is quite crucial feature of the balance of payment. Current account and the financial account usually matches, so they usually balance zero together. Current account surplus should be offset by the financial account deficit, or vice versa. Current account deficit should be offset by the financial account surplus. So total amount of the current account surplus should be equal to the total deficit of the financial account. And in the course of the trade surplus, like the case of the Japan in the past, they unload from the export to the United States and other countries. Such international balance of payment should be accumulated to result in the net foreign assets, or NFA. So international BOP is flow, and NFA is stock. And Japan is #1 country in terms of the total amount of the NFA, totally because of the past trade deficit, trade surplus. And the total amount is now exceeding 325 trillion yen. So $3 trillion or more. And again, foreign exchange. If the value of one currency is getting larger relative to the other currency, that is appreciation. And the opposite is depreciation. And foreign exchange rate, the currency value could be explained by the some theory. One of the most important theory is PPP, or purchasing power parity. And the purchasing power is the power of the currency to buy goods. Therefore, if PPP holds, the hamburger price in US is $1 and 110 in Japan, then FX rate should be determined at 110 to balance the cost in the States and the cost in Japan. So that is purchasing power parity. Again, PPP is based upon the idea the price level should determine the level of the FX rate or foreign exchange rate, PPP. And then next one is IRP, interest rate parity. As in the case of the PPP, such that the price will determine the FX rate. In case of IRP, interest rate difference may determine the exchange rate. Because return on any currency should be equal because of the adjustment by FX rate. For example, if interest rate in yen deposit is 1%, and the interest rate in US dollar deposit is 10%, then expected change in FX rate should be 9% depreciation of US dollar, like this. Yen interest rate should be equal to US dollar interest rate plus rise in value of US dollar against yen. Therefore, in the last case, yen interest rate is 1%, US interest rate 10%. So difference is negative 9%. Negative 9% means fall in value of the US dollar against yen. And then moving to the global financial system comparison. And the financial market can be characterized by the proportion of the household saving or what kind of the financial assets each of the consumers tend to have. And this is a big picture that represents the characteristic of each of the country, USA and Japan. And Japan tend to have the much proportion to cash and deposit, especially the bank deposits, over 50%. And for US, stocks and investment trust, toshi shintaku in Japanese. So this kind of their risk assets and safe assets for Japan. And that may imply the other thing. Japan is deposit oriented, or in other words, indirect finance oriented. And then US investment driven, meaning direct finance oriented. So indirect finance for Japan and direct finance for US. That is a key distinction. And this difference may be explained by the one major factor. This difference of the component of the financial assets could be explained by the difference of the pension system. Japan DBP or defined benefit plan. So nobody in Japan care much about the investment because they are not responsible for the decision how to manage the pension assets. But in US, DCP, defined contribution plan, is a major system in terms of the pension system. Therefore, the US consumers have to be responsible for their investment decision, how to manage their pension fund. And then DuPont system. You learn how to evaluate their company's profitability. And the major metrics is ROE, return on equity. That is net profit after tax divided by the shareholders' equity, or equity. And that can be broken into the two parts. Net profit over assets times asset over equity. And the net profit over asset is ROA, or return on asset. And the asset over equity is leverage. Okay. So if leverage is quite high, it is very risky. But higher risk can be partly compensated by the higher ROE. And this DuPont system can be made up on yourself because you can extend this kind of equation infinitely as long as you put net profit profit on the left hand side, and then equity here. And then you put the same item here. They will offset together. Question. Analyze why return on equity is high for this company. Net profit is 10, equity is 20, and asset is 100. Therefore, 10 divided by 20 makes a 50% ROE, very, very high. ROE 50%. Can we broke into two parts? ROA 10%. That is 10 over 100. And then leverage is 100 over 20, so 5 times. So 10% times the 5 makes a 50%. Usually, Japanese companies' ROE is 5%. And Japanese companies' ROA is something like 1% or something. 2.5% or something. So leverage tends to be twice. But this company is 5 times. So it means weak capital. And next, matrix that shows their financial performance is Sharpe ratio. And the Sharpe ratio can be described as the ROE divided by the standard deviation of ROE. Standard deviation is the volatility of the profitability, or ROE. So even if the ROE is high, the fluctuation or volatility is high, it is not necessarily a safe company in terms of profitability. So Sharpe ratio again is ROE divided by the ROE's standard deviation, 標準偏差. And this is the exercise for Sharpe ratio. Compare profitability of X and Y company. X company and Y company. X company ROE 30% and 10% for Y, and standard deviation, that is the measurement of the volatility or fluctuation, 50% for X and 5% for Y. So if we compare those different types of the companies, Sharpe ratio is quite useful. Sharpe ratio for X is ROE 30% divided by the 50% standard deviation, so 0.6. Sharpe ratio for Y, 10% divided by 5% standard deviation makes 2.0. So Sharpe ratio is much higher for Y, even though ROE is lower. Okay, again, Y's ROE is lower in average, but Y's Sharpe ratio is higher. It means financial performance is much better for Y. Okay, please have a look at the handout number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 sheets of paper. 4 sheets of paper. But anyway, please have a look at the first handout, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. And please skip handout number 1. Please skip handout number 1. And then handout number 2. Number 3, currency. And F, effective FX rate. Effective FX rate or effective exchange rate. Effective FX rate is the value of one currency measured by major currencies. Effective FX rate is the value of one currency measured by major currencies. Sorry, this is super highlight. Major highlight or super highlight. And super highlight or major highlight is good for your exam and your life as well. And just for your information, minor highlight is not necessarily good for the exam, but good to know as long as you finalize this course. So major highlight and the minor highlight. Major highlight is useful for preparation for exam. Major highlight for exam. So major highlight, F effective FX rate is blah blah blah. And then let's go on to the next handout. Handout number 3. Two, international finance. Number 1, balance of payment, basic framework. And B is a minor highlight. B is a minor highlight. BOP is supposed to be 0. BOP is supposed to be 0. BOP is supposed to be 0, meaning that the total credit should be equal to total debit. Total credit and total debit balance. And then the next equation, BOP equal to current account. This is major highlight. BOP equal to current account and capital account, financial account, and errors. Current account, capital account, financial account. This is a major one. And then C, that is also major highlight. C is major highlight. Current account. Current account is net inflow of money from goods and services from primary and secondary income. C, current account explanation is major highlight. Please emphasize that sentence. And then please skip on to H. H. Current and financial accounts are two major items. That is minor highlight. Current account, H is minor highlight. Current and financial accounts are two major items, where the sum tend to be 0. That's it. So major highlight is explanation of BOP and C, and a minor highlight is B and H. And please flip over to the reverse. Handout number 4. And 2, net foreign assets. Net foreign assets. A, minor highlight. BOP is a concept of flow, and NFA, or net foreign asset, is that of stock. So BOP is flow, and NFA is stock. Minor highlight. And B is minor highlight too. NFA is a net value of the overseas assets minus overseas debts. So that is the definition of net foreign assets. And please skip number 3. Skip on to 4. FX rate determination theory. FX rate determination theory. And A is minor highlight, and B is major highlight. But you need to remember both anyway. But A is minor highlight, and B is major highlight. A, purchasing power. Purchasing power parity. PPP assumes that the purchasing power of a local currency should become the same in every country. So please highlight that sentence. Definition of PPP. And again, B, interest rate parity, IRP, that is a major highlight. IRP assumes that the expected return of risk-free financial assets should be the same internationally. And if yen deposit rate is 1% and the US rate is 10%, the expected change in FX rate should be 9%. Appreciation of yen and depreciation of US dollar. Appreciation of yen, depreciation of US dollar. That is major highlight. And then please go on to handout number 5. 3, global financial system comparison. And 1, consumer behavior. A and C, minor highlight. A is minor highlight and C is minor highlight too. A, composition of household saving. Household. Composition of household savings reflects the characteristics of financial system. Proportion of deposit was over 50% in Japan and below 15% in US, while that of stocks was under 10% in Japan and over 35% in US. And the EU stands in the middle. That is minor highlight. And C, financial product, indirect finance equal to deposits, and direct finance equal to stocks, bonds, investment trusts. So that is a minor highlight. And please flip over to the reverse side, handout number 6. Number five. What account for Japan and US system difference? And number 3, pension system. That is minor highlight. Pension system, minor highlight. In 1980s, US reformed pension systems to promote DCP, defined contribution plan instead of DBP, defined benefit plan. DBP's investment decisions are done by companies or the government, and the DCP forces individuals to choose how to manage the fund. So please make sure you understand the difference of DCP and DBP. Who is responsible? Question is, who is responsible for the investment decision, how to manage the pension? And then please skip on to the next handout. Handout number, please skip 7. And please go over to 8. Handout number 8. And please also skip number 3. Number 4, deeper analysis. DuPont system. A. The whole stuff of A is major highlight. The system is a method to analyze several factors composing ROE by breaking down. And ROE equal to net profit over equity equal to net profit over asset. Net profit over asset times asset over equity. So net profit over asset and asset over equity. And the net profit over asset is ROA. This is ROA. So ROA times inverse of capital adequacy or leverage. So ROA times leverage. ROA times leverage. Return on assets. ROA times leverage. That is a breakdown of ROE, return on equity. So this is super highlight, major highlight. At the same time, please emphasize as a major highlight, super highlight for the exercise, just above the Sharpe ratio. So just below the DuPont system. You can see that this question, this exercise, analyze why ROE is high, net profit is 10, equity 20, and assets 100. The answer, ROE equal to 50%. And then ROA 10% and leverage 5 times. It means weak capital. And please review this exercise and do practice again at home to prepare for calculation exam, calculation question. Again, please exercise this DuPont system of ROE. And also, major highlight for the exercise of Sharpe ratio. The very bottom of this handout number 8. Very bottom of handout number 8. You can see this exercise. Compare profitability of X and Y. ROE 30% and sigma, that is standard deviation, 50% for X. And ROE 10%, sigma or standard deviation 5% for Y. Answer, Sharpe ratio for A, that is 30% over 50%. 30% over 50%. 30% divided by 50% makes 0.6. And Sharpe ratio for B, 10% divided by 5%. 10% divided by 5%. 10% over 5%. 10% divided by 5% makes 2. It means B perform better. It means B perform better. In this case, X, Please replace A for X and B for Y. I'm sorry, that's a typo on the handout. Not A, but X. And not B, but Y. So last sentence is, it means Y performed better. Y performed better. Okay. And then go back to the screen. Case study, global strategy of Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group. Among the 3 mega banks in Japan, like Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group and Mizuho Financial Group, MAFG, Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, is the greatest group in terms of global strategy and the largest operation globally. And what is good about the global strategy? What are good about the MAFG global strategy? One is access to retail deposit, because MAFG is the only one Japanese bank which hold the foreign bank in the United States and Thailand. The name is not Bank One, but Union Bank in US and Krungsri in Thailand. And also good balance of the governance, corporate governance and autonomy, because they sent the chairman or CEO to Union Bank, but the majority of the board or executive member are non-Mitsubishi people, just local people. And the same is true for Krungsri. The management team is mainly from the ex-management of the Krungsri. And also active communication among their entities. And strong full commitment to the global strategy. And also their stake in Morgan Stanley enhance their ability in the investment bank area. But weakness should be still local currency. Because they have the access to the retail deposit in part of the United States and part of the Thailand, but they have a weakness in funding local currency for each of the global regions. And also they have the quite limited human resources. So limitation of the human resources just force them to be reliant upon the local staff. And also transactional banking, GTS, Global Transaction Service, or cash management service, they have a big weakness about that. And then let me move on to the financial crisis. We compared the financial crisis in Japan and the United States. And the lessons from the crisis in Japan. The crisis was caused by a new regulation, self-assessment, that is a new regulation. And then the shock was shared by the financial markets. And that was also shared by the depositors. That's why Japanese government need to inject the capital into the banks by the usage of the public fund or tax money. But the tax money usage was also shared by the US at the time of the Lehman shock. Lehman shock was September 2007, 2008. And right after Lehman shock, in the next month, that is October 2008, they decided TARP, Travel Asset Relief Program. And a major part of this budget was used to help banks by injecting the capital. So TARP, the size of the public fund was much larger than Japanese example. The size of the budget was $700 billion. And the lessons from the US crisis. US crisis was because of the bubble of the US financial market. That was because of the lower interest rate. But the difference from the Japanese example, Japanese crisis was, the crisis was coming from direct finance or market in the States. And usually, financial market are taking great care of their bank run. Bank run is such that the depositors rushing into the bank windows or ATM machine to get cash. But in case of US, market bank run was taking place. That is totally the dry up with the interbank market. So difference is in Japanese case, non-performing loan, 不良債権, non-performing loans or bad loans by commercial banks. But in case of US, securitization and also housing market. So investment bank types of the crisis. And also, non-recourse loan is the one of the background for the moral hazard of the US system. Then we have to talk about the regulation. Because Lehman shock gave the greatest shock to the global regulator. That is the reason for the major change in the Basel regulation. And Basel is the city where the headquarters of the Bank for International Settlement was located. And within this building, the Basel Committee, that is Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, is placed. This is an international regulatory body to make sure level playing field, that is fair competition, to just equalize the international level of the regulation. And then let me just go through the difference of the Basel I in 1988 and Basel II and Basel III. Basel I, that is the first international accord or agreement. And the key point is capital ratio is 8% minimum. But at that time, the risk weight, that is a method to calculate the denominator of this capital ratio is very, very simple, too simple. 100% for any of the loans to any of the companies. But this weakness can be improved by the introduction of the Basel II in 2004. So that is a message from the regulator to make the regime more sophisticated and comprehensive. And after Lehman shock, the global regulator was so disappointed with the bank management. So that's why in 2010, they decided to increase the toughness of the regulation. But But even after this great improvement or just or reinforcement of the regulation, still some issues are pending. One is shadow banks, that is non-bank. Non-banks, like asset management companies and consumer finance companies, are outside the banking regulation. And some of the players, like asset management companies, are big in size, so quite influential in the financial market. Therefore, there is more need for the global regulator to just put their hands on these shadow banks. And the next one is interest rate risk. Probably Japan is a country that may suffer the most from the upcoming regulation, IRRBB, interest rate risk in banking book. Because as long as the banks are holding government bonds in the banking account, they are free from their calculation of the capital ratio. But if they hold huge amount of the government bonds, they suffer from the potential risk of the fluctuation of the interest rate or rising interest rate. But this may be under review in the near future. And then this is the quick snapshot of progress for the financial crisis and the policy measures for policy response. In the first stage, in any of the country, government tend to take their stopgap through their underestimation of their crisis, and then followed by the market crash, stock market crash, that forced the government to do something big. So sizable action by banks, by the government. However, even in this stage, no structural reform can be made. Therefore, structural issues are emerging in the third stage. And then last one is just sorting out the problems, big problems, structural reform. So this is just a snapshot. At the same time, the regulation provide some byproduct or negative effect for the economy. One major effect is so-called procyclicality. Because capital standard is based on the calculation, the capital divided by the risk-weighted assets. In a downturn of the economy, like a deflation, the risk weight for the company tend to be getting higher than capital